Why did you start playing the cello?
I started playing the cello because I fell in love with the sound. About 9, we had some teachers come and demonstrate different instruments and stuff for us and in my school, and you could choose to play in the orchestra or go to choir, and everyone was like, oh, I want to do choir, I want to play violin. I've never been one to follow the crowd, so I went with the cello and I've loved it ever since.
We're gonna try this tempo again using shorter bows, okay? But
I started teaching in 2012, I believe. It's been so long now, I've lost count of the years. But actually, I was just approached as a student, like, hey, do you want to teach for a Missouri String Project? And I thought it would be an awesome opportunity, and I love working with kids. So
because we're gonna be quickening up the tempo a little bit.
I can remember like how I felt as a young kid, like being able to play an instrument and it being so cool. So it felt awesome to be able to show kids something positive that's also fun and really cool, while also, you know, I'm a big kid, so I love working with kids and teaching them, and it's just like awesome, honestly.
And then you freeze. And then when my arms go down, cellos. Oh, Lord have mercy. Get back down there. He'll do it every time if you let him, so.
When people are looking up to you for something, you know, you have to always be on point. So I learned to really balance life while also being, you know, the fun, loving teacher that they expect to see every week, which can be hard because I'm a college student and they're 8. They don't really understand that, but at the end of the day, when they come to class every week, they're expecting the same crazy, quirky Miss Jade, no matter what Miss Jade is actually going through. So I've learned a lot about being able to be that teacher and, you know, about balance.
Don't freak out. All right, here's the next tempo. We're just talking about. This is the tempo. Get ready to play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, stop. Don't you always get ready to go before you play? All right. 1, 2, ready, go.
My experiences as an orchestra member for the University Philharmonic has been quite similar to my experiences as an orchestra member in orchestra all of my musical career. And unfortunately not the best at all times, and I think mostly for cultural reasons. On one end of the spectrum, I have people who look like me, but hear me play or they see me with a cello and they feel like, oh, you think you're better than our culture, you think you're better than us because you're playing their music, you're playing classical music. And you know, that hurts. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have people who aren't familiar with your culture and who don't look like you, who will always underestimate your capabilities as a musician. They always think that you can't play or that you don't deserve to be here. And unfortunately, I have legit been told before to my face that I don't belong. And it's hard. It takes a lot to keep going and doing something that you absolutely love to do when you feel like you're not really welcome. Honestly, the way that the cello makes me feel surpasses any type of negative experiences that I've ever had. It's hard to explain it in words, but literally at the end of any concert or performance, like when I stand up, it's almost like I'm coming back down to reality or something. It's like I was on a whole just magical journey during the whole song, and then once it ends, it's like I took a breath, and everyone's clapping and smiling, and it's just, it feels spiritual. And for me, that's better than what any negative thing somebody can say. Always enjoyed playing duets, listening to duets, especially with another cellist. I can remember, like, as a little kid, Christmas time, my sister, that kind of inspired one of my final juries wanting to play duets, which I played with Liz Nash. And we played first Tros Duos by Viotti. And the theme for this duet is really grace. Throughout the whole song, there's actually printed in the music con gracia, which means with grace. So every time there's those romantic, rich harmonies and melodies that cellos love to play, you know, you really are supposed to sing out and play it with grace. Now, I had some trouble being graceful with this song because there are triplets in this song that include grace notes. So it was difficult. That was probably the most difficult technique to master, to have still sound graceful, but still be kind of, you know, the correct way to play triplets. So I really enjoyed playing this piece. That I played with Liz was by Bois Mortier, and it was pretty interesting in the sense that there was a lot of room for improvisation, if you will. The technique that I did in this piece was ornamentations, and that allows the musician to add in different notes or skills or techniques like appoggiaturas, mordents, trills, things like that, that fit the key and tonality and also sound really cool. So me and Liz also had to meet a lot with this piece to make sure that our articulation was also the same, because this piece is from the Baroque era, and it was really challenging to make sure that we were playing the right style with the right sound to be pleasing to our audience. So that was the second piece that we played. Being a part of the University Philharmonic has taught me to really be comfortable with who I am. I think that I'm similar to the cello and the orchestra in the sense that orchestra and playing an instrument requires a lot of discipline, technique, and skill, and it's also beautiful. You know, it's something for you to enjoy. And me as a person, I work hard and I try to be organized, and I'm very disciplined, but also, you know, I know when it's time to enjoy life at the same time. So I think maybe that's what we have in common. It's a serious side, but an appreciation for art and beauty.
The first one I am getting is about the best, but some of them where the notes change.